Welcome to Tattoo Tabletop. We're just going to drive right on into it and get this Freeguild Cavalier painted up. As you can see, I've already done the red. Now, I forgot I was supposed to set this aside, but just in case you're wondering, I used Flesh Terror's red from Citadel to get that finish there. And obviously all the white there is dry brushed with Vallejo Model White. If you've seen any of my paint tutorials in the past, you know that this is what I do. And of course, you just get it all over the stuff that is not going to be metal. But to get started, we're going to start with Plate Mail Metal from the Army Painter. This has fast become one of my personal favorite metallic paints, and it goes on very well with a dry brush, and that's why we're going to use this small dry brush here. So you're just going to get your dry brush loaded up, and you're just going to start going. Just start dry brushing over all of the armor. Now, don't worry if you spill it onto other materials or other, I don't know, materials maybe isn't the right word, but other items on your model, because you'll be clearing it up with a lot more acrylics. Now, I'd say the main ones you want to avoid are the horse itself, as those will mainly be getting speed paints, but you can just work your way around and just make sure that you get all the metal covered, including the armor. All right, now that we've done that, we're going to get some of the blue, which my combination is 1-to-1 Magic Blue from the Army Painter and Azerman Blue from Citadel Contrast. I don't know why they work so well together, but that's how I get my scheme. And so I'm just going to pick out very specific blue details. In this case, it's going to be the flag and the rain flags. Let's go with rain flags. But as you can see, I had very bad angling because I'm still getting used to painting on camera, but kind of gives you a rough idea of what I did there. Just covered the flag there, all in that combination. And then of course I'm going to make sure that I get the other flags hanging off the reins there. Again, just take your time. Just make sure you don't spill this onto anything else, especially the armor. We're pretty much done with the armor, so just spread that around, get that everywhere, and then if there's anything that's too pooled, we'll get some cleanup on that later. Next, we're going to hop on to Satchel Brown. This is going to be to get all the brown parts, which in this case, I have decided that this horse is going to be Satchel Brown from the Army Painter. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to get that loaded up onto our brush, and we're just going to start covering it. Just make sure that it's not so thick that it's invisible, or that it starts pooling, but also just make sure that it is thick enough that you're actually getting a nice opaque coverage and that it's settling into the recesses. And just be sure to get the inside of the legs as well as the outside. Some people tend to forget when you're painting on the outside, you forget to get the inside, so just make sure you rotate the model around and get a full look at everything there. And of course, don't forget, some of the other maybe tucked away spots in there, so just keep an eye out for those. In this case, I'm not concerned about spilling it onto the reins because, again, I'm going to clean up any of those reins or any of those straps with a different acrylic brown. So you will get to that in a second. Next, we're going to hop on to Witching Hour Blue. This is my main highlight. This one's from the Tooth and Coats line, and we're going to just use that same tiny brush, and this is where we're going to start cleaning up some of the blue. So in this case, a very bad angle of getting the cloth on his leg there. So even when I, had gone in and done the dry brush with the metal, I can still cover it with this acrylic paint. It's going to hide it, no problem. We're not going to have an issue, and it allows me to clean up any of the other pooling mistakes. In this case, I didn't use it on the cloth because I just wanted the cloth to sit nice, flat, and just kind of completely cover there. And of course, to make an extra little level of detail, we're just going to pick out the Sigmar writing and trim on the little saddle cover. I should probably know what these things are called, but anyway. And you're just going to take your time, use angles, and even if you make a mistake like I just did here, just quick rinse off your brush, scrub away a little bit, and it will clean it up nicely, and then just continue on. So I'm just going to pick out all these details and move on to the next step. Also, don't forget to get the shield as well. In this case, this is my main army color, so I got to make sure that I cover the shield, but this is kind of what you should be looking at the end of those steps. Next, we're going to go on to Oak Brown. This is going to be for picking out some of the leather straps there. So I'm just going to pick out, little belt hanging off of them, any of the reins that are going up to the front of the horse or anything on the horse's face. You're just going to pick out very specific details. There's only a few of these, so just make sure you get them covered and you should be good. And next, we're going to go on to Grim Black from the Army Painter as well. And this is going to be to get the hair because the horse has a nice I was going to say bushy tail, but I don't think that's right. Either way, this is a really easy step. Spoiler alert, you do speed paint things on speed paint part. You just take grim black and you just cover the tail. Perfect. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then, of course, if you want to get the hooves, you can also get that as well, or any other details you would like black. So this is about where we're looking. We're looking really good. There's maybe just a few more things that we're going to do to kind of pop this up a little bit. And one of those steps is going to be using some Two Thin Coats Dragon's Gold. Still one of my favorite golds. I still use it all the time, but we're just going to use this to pick out a few of the metal details, like these little chainmail flowers here. There's, the front little gargoyle on like that. We're going to pick out these little skulls on the mace just to make that pop out. Again, this is all stuff that you can totally and utterly skip. If you're good with good, then you're good. I don't know what that means, but alas, here we are. Of course, don't forget to get that little symbol down at the bottom there. We're just picking out a few of those details just to add a little extra pop to them. Next, we're just going to go on to Vallejo Medium Gray. This is what I tend to use for, straps, purity seals, anything like that. But in particular for Cities of Sigmar, I use these for the little sigil squares. I don't know how else to put that. I mean, obviously, this is where, whatever Freeguild city you're representing, and this is where the symbol's supposed to go in, but I still haven't come up with a custom one for mine yet. So right now they're just little tan squares, and of course don't forget to get any inside of the shield. This will probably take a solid 2 coats just to make sure that's nice and smooth. And of course, the last step is just go around, pick up any other details that you may have missed. In this case, I went through and got some buckles, everything like that, but I think we got a Freeguild Cavalier. So this is the final result of the Freeguild Cavalier that I was painting up. I've got a lot of these guys that I've got to go through. And of course, let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Of course, if you like this content, feel free to like, share, subscribe. But I've been Tattooed Tabletop. Now go paint something.